Do you want to learn how to make $10,000 per deal in real estate investing with virtually no risk? Well, you came to the right place, because in this video, I'm going to teach you exactly how to do that with a strategy called wholesaling. On one deal, I once made $55,000 and I didn't even have to buy the property. So stay tuned, because in this video, I'm gonna give you my 10 tips for wholesaling properties successfully. Wholesaling is a fantastic strategy for newer investors because it teaches you the way to acquire properties and gets you very good at finding good deals. Let's get right into it. Tip number 1, understanding the basics of wholesaling. Wholesaling involves finding discounted properties, getting them under contract, which means agreeing with the seller on a price that you're going to pay, and then assigning that contract to an end buyer, and then taking a fee from the end buyer. It requires minimal upfront capital, and the only thing that you really need to spend money on is the earnest money deposit to secure that property in escrow, but then you're gonna get that money back on the back end. Typically, these deals close in about 30 days or less, so you don't really have to worry about having to tie up that capital for very long. This will give you the opportunity to generate quick profits. So make sure you have a solid understanding of the strategy before diving in. Tip number 2 is build a strong network. It's super essential that you build a strong network because you're gonna have to find other people who may possibly have deals, be able to lend the earnest money deposit so that you don't come out of pocket out of anything, and then also potentially have buyers for these deals that you get under contract. So make sure you go to real estate investing meetups, connect with people on social media, and just try to connect with as much people in real estate as possible. By the way, if you're in Hawaii, make sure you check out my free real estate investing meetup that happens every single month. DM me on Instagram if you are wanting to come and we'll send you a link. Building relationships helps you find deals and buyers for your wholesale properties. Tip number 3 is to focus on target marketing. It's super important not to just call random people, like let's say somebody just bought their house. Do you truly think that they're gonna be motivated to sell their property? Probably not. So make sure you focus on targeted lists. You can utilize many different strategies like bandit signs, direct mail, cold calling, text messaging, website SEO, Facebook groups, Craigslist. There's so many different ways that you can look for deals of people who are looking to sell. You want to tailor your message to highlight people who are looking for a quick sale, not just somebody who's able to list their property on the market and sell in the next 90 days. And someone who wants top dollar and is willing to pay the commissions for a realtor, that's not the target client that you're looking for. You're looking for somebody with motivation that you can help solve their problems. Tip number 4 is to master lead generation. This is the lifeline of your business. If you're not able to get leads coming into you, how are you supposed to find deals? My first 3 months of marketing in Hawaii, I called 100,000 people in 3 months. Guess how many deals I got? 0.
That's a damn shame.
When you're first getting started, it's all about volume. You may not know how to talk on the phone with these sellers, so it's just about getting your reps in. Just like when you work out, you gotta get those reps in. You wanna get as many leads coming in through the marketing strategies that I had mentioned in the previous tip. Consistently track and follow up on these leads. That way you can be the first one at the table when they're actually ready to sell. I once had this property that I followed up with for a whole year. They originally were asking $1.7 million, and I ended up buying this property for $1.2 million. $500,000 of a discount took over a year of follow-up. So make sure you follow up consistently. That way you stay top of mind. If you want to be able to call over 100,000 people, it's going to take more than you just using your phone. I use smartphone dialer. This allows me to call hundreds of thousands of people every single month. If you want 30% off a smartphone dialer, go to the link in the description below and sign up and use my code StacyJohnson30. Tip number 5 is analyze deals thoroughly. Thoroughly understand how to analyze a deal. You can use software such as PropStream, which is exactly the system that I use to analyze deals and find comparable properties similar to my subject property so that I know exactly what I could sell it for on the back end. Even if you're wholesaling, you need to understand what a flipper is going to buy this property for, and that's going to be based off of what they can sell it for and how much work the property actually needs. Tip number 6, Negotiation is key. As a real estate investor, you will have to learn how to do sales, or you're gonna have to learn how to hire somebody who's actually good at sales. Negotiation is key, understanding their motivation and how to present an offer that works for the seller is super important. I actually made a video of my tips on how to negotiate well with sellers by reading the book Never Split the Difference. This video will play next, so make sure you stay for that video. Negotiating is all about creating win-win scenarios so that everybody in the transaction can feel like they won, and this will increase your chances of closing deals and making a profit. Closing deals, building lasting relationships with sellers, and making a profit. Tip number 7, master your contracts. There are 2 different contracts that you're gonna use in a wholesale transaction. Number 1 is your purchase agreement. Number 2 is your assignment agreement. You need to understand exactly what is on this contract so that you can explain it to both your seller and your end buyer. Include clauses and contingencies so that you're able to protect yourself in the transaction itself. If you're looking for a template on what to use for a purchase agreement, go to the link in the description below. I give you my exact purchase agreement that I use to buy properties off market. I even have a video of me explaining this exact process and do this live for you every single month, and you can sign up for those webinars at the link in the description below. Tip number 8 is create a reliable buyers list. If you don't have any buyers for your property that you got under contract, how are you supposed to make a profit? This is something that you should be continuously doing and looking for deals that fit the criteria that these buyers are actually buying at. You want to make sure that when you run your numbers, you already have a buyer in mind that's probably going to buy this deal. If all of your buyers on your list wouldn't buy that deal, why would you even get it under contract? Because then you're going to be setting the seller up for an expectation that you're going to buy this property and then end up backing out at the last minute, and that's not cool because these sellers are in distressed situations. Tip number 9, streamline your processes. In wholesaling, there's a specific process that you go through, from getting the leads, following up, getting the property under contract, opening up escrow, assigning the contract, and getting to the closing table. Try to utilize as much automation as possible during this process so that it can be easier for you to get a deal. For example, on a follow-up system, let's say you have a property owner that is not ready to sell yet, but they may be ready in the next 30 days. Put them on an automatic text sequence that texts them in the next 30 days to see if they're ready to sell. And if they're not, continue setting those automatic follow-ups to them, because it's hard for somebody as a human to keep up with thousands and thousands of leads. You might as well automate some of that system. Tip number 10 is to educate yourself continuously. Things are constantly changing in the wholesaling market, whether it's rules and regulations, laws, and contracts that you want to use, and shifting markets as well. Make sure you're constantly educating yourself and putting yourself in a community that gives you the updates of what's going on in the market and whether wholesaling is actually a viable strategy in this market. I'm part of the Wealthy Investor Program, and they teach me exactly what's going on in the market so I can get the best strategy of how to accomplish these wholesale deals. Again, if you're looking to sign up, go to the link in the description below and sign up for a free strategy call with the team to see if this is the right fit for you. And there you have it, folks. Those are my top 10 tips for getting into wholesaling. Make sure you implement these tips, that way you can be on your way to finding your first deal and get you paid. If you're a wholesaler and you want to connect with other people, let us know in the comments below. Where are you wholesaling from? Let us know what market you're in and how many deals you've done so far. Thank you for watching, guys. Aloha, and see ya on the next video. Shoots!